This video is on how to add positive and negative integers. So the first thing we look at with positive and negative integers is today in class we model the positive and negative integers. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to model these using the integer chips, similar to what we did in class. Positive integers are represented by yellow. So I'm going to draw 3 yellow chips to represent the 3 that's positive. Then, for a negative number, we use red chips similar to represent the negative numbers. When we model adding and subtracting, we go ahead and we line them up right next to each other. That's because they create 0 pairs. So right here, these two will cancel each other out, just like taking 1 step forward and 1 step back is the same thing and you end up in the same place. They're going to cancel each other out and make 0. Same with those two and same with those two. All of those integer chips just cancel each other out. So now we can ignore them and focus on what's left of our model. The chips that are left, there's 2 of them, and both of them are red, which is negative. So the answer to 3 plus negative 5 equals negative 2. Let's try another one. So here we have negative 4 plus 7. So again, I'm going to use my model today. I'm going to have 4 red chips, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm going to have 7 yellow chips, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now in class someone asked, does it matter the order? The order doesn't matter because it wouldn't matter what side the chips were on, which one was on the right or the left. They're still going to cancel out when they're next to each other like this. So they cancel, 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 cancel. We call those 0 pairs when they cancel each other out. And then what's left is 3 yellow integer chips, which is a positive 3. Okay, now I'm going to skip ahead to these review questions over here. So you can use either the red and yellow chips to solve these, or if you don't have chips, you can easily write them like negative 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I can draw 2 positives like this. Those are just the same as the colored chips. They cancel each other out, and it leaves me with 5 negative chips. I could do the same with 8 positive chips and 4 negative chips, and I'll be left over with 4. Now my 4 is going to be positive because I started with 8 positive chips, and there was only 4 of the negative ones. So I know I'm going to have the positive chips left over. I like number 3 because number 3, 4 plus 5, that's something you guys learned from your first grade teacher. It's just 9, a positive 9. And then for number 4. Number 4 is if I had 6 red chips plus 3 more red chips, I would end up with 9 red chips. Now it's really important to make sure that you remember these negative signs in your answers, because otherwise the answer wouldn't be correct. Now in class, we did the integer chips and we also talked about the rules. The different findings that we came up with for the rules were if the 2 numbers that you're adding together have 2 different signs, you're going to subtract. For example, that was a positive 8 and a negative 4. So with different signs, you subtract the numbers. Now for numbers 3 and 4, they had the same sign. So negative 6 is negative and negative 3 is negative. They both were red chips in our models. If the 2 numbers have the same sign, then you add the numbers together. The other thing you have to pay attention to is the sign in your answer, if it's going to be positive or negative. To do that, look at the number that has the higher absolute value. So for example, in number 1, the number with the higher absolute value is negative 7. That's why our answer is negative. In number 2, the one with the higher absolute value is 8. That's why our answer is positive, because 8 is positive. The same applies to number 3 and 4. Now, the last thing that we did today in class was we have a song to help us remember the rules. I encourage you to sing the song, teach someone else the song, and use those song lyrics to help you do your homework. It goes same signs add and keep, different signs subtract. Keep the sign of the higher number, and then you'll be exact. So, the same sign you add and keep. So 2 negatives, you would add the 2 numbers together and keep the negative in your answer. If they have different signs, you subtract. Now in the third line, you got to be careful. It technically should be keep the sign of the higher absolute value. But that didn't go well with the song. So when we say higher number, we're really meaning the larger absolute value. And then you'll be exact.